We have to deal with the world as we find it, Axelrod said during an unusually candid and reflective 90-minute interview in his office, steps away from the Oval Office. The world of what it takes to get this done. There are concerns, he added, that Congress will continue to kick the can down the road in the future by passing temporary extensions for the wealthy time and time again. But I don't want to trade away security for the middle class in order to make that point. Joining me now, the co-author of that report, the Huffington Post's Howard Fineman, and from FireDogLake, a conscientious objector to many Obama policies, Jane Hamsher. Jane, let's listen to how the president chooses his words on this subject. Here's a clip from his weekly address on Saturday.
I recognize that both parties are going to have to work together and compromise to get something done here. But I want to make my priorities clear from the start. 1, middle-class families need permanent tax relief. And 2, I believe we can't afford to borrow and spend another $700 billion on permanent tax cuts for millionaires and billionaires.
So, Jane, there's that word permanent. It seems to me the door's wide open for a temporary extension of all these tax rates in all the brackets.
Well, Barack Obama has been in trouble for a while for governing 2, 5, 7, and 14 years into the future and not actually delivering things like health care to people today in a way that makes a difference in their lives. And, it's how many angels are dancing on the head of a pin? Who knows what's going to happen 2 years from now? You've got a situation where David Axelrod, the guy who led the political operation that led to arguably the worst political defeat of our lifetimes for the Democrats last week, saying one thing yesterday and then another thing today. Speak clearly to the American people. Be honest. Tell them what you think. President Obama believes that he has a communication problem, and that's what led to the defeat. This is more of this. Bottom line, why does David Axelrod still have a job?
Jane, my sense of this is that they've made the calculation, probably with vote counting, possibly not, that they can't get what they want in the Senate, and they may not be able to get it in the House. What strategically would you suggest to the White House? I mean, Howard's made the point that maybe they've tipped their hand too early, but strategically, what would you say the Democrats, Nancy Pelosi, Harry Reid, could do going forward?
Look, Barack Obama is the quarterback, and he called the play. We're not going to give tax cuts to the wealthy right now. He had his deficit commission chair's report yesterday in that clown car report, and they're making a big deal about how we have to be responsible about the deficit. This is his chance to message clearly. We cannot afford to extend the deficit by $700 billion over the next 10 years to give tax cuts to millionaires. Make people in the House and the Senate who are millionaires go in and say, we're going to cut Social Security for old people. We're going to cut Medicare. But you know what? The one thing we're going to make sure we have is expanding the deficit so that we don't have to pay the taxes that you guys do. Make that argument. Even if he loses, sometimes you win by losing. And at that point, what Democrats stand for and what Republicans stand for become clear. And if you've got Democrats joining the Republicans, then at least you've called them out. But you've made a distinction. You've stuck by what you believe in. And that's what people want to see Barack Obama do.
Jane,
there's no leadership there.
Jane, we're going to be continuing this strategic discussion as the lame duck session goes forward.